Hi, this is David Papkin. Welcome back to Implementing Microsoft Azure. In this lab demo, we're going to be implementing and managing Azure networking. So the first thing I'm going to do is creating an Azure virtual network by using a deployment template. First thing I'm going to do is access the template on GitHub. So I'm going to go to GitHub right here. What I'm going to do is look for some quick start templates, and I'm going to look for one on here, virtual network with 2 subnets. I'm going to take this one, deploy to Azure. I'm going to load the template into new deployments in Azure. Under the custom, so I've loaded it in right here. Now I'm going to click on this one right here. I'm going to click on Edit Template Link right here. Now this is the Java object notation. That's a JSON file. This in. Now look at the ones for the placeholders that I can put in here, and the VNet name. So all these ones over here, I can do is I can edit all these ones over here. All these different resources. Under here, so you can see under the resources here, all the different ones under here. Now I'm going to discard to edit the template plate. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run the deployment from Azure. Under this one right here, so under the edit parameters, this one right here, let's just use 10.00.16. The name is going to be HQ. Under this one right here, so I'm going to use prefix. So the one in this one right here. Click OK. Now under the resource group I'm going to do under this, I'm going to say new, and on this one, Datum Lab RG, that's right there. So I'm going to create this one right here. Let's just see what we have here. Review the legal terms, and this right here. And of course the resource group location is here. We use Southeast Asia. I've reviewed this one here. I'm going to go purchase. It's validating right here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a virtual network by using PowerShell. So right here. Log in Azure. Let's see. Azure account. Oops. Signing in over here. Great. Next thing I'm going to do is get Azure on subscription and Azure Pass. I'll set it to this one right here. Now the next thing I'm going to do is next thing I'm going to do is on here, I'm going to create a new virtual network. So I'm going to set this here. Good, set it to this, great. So now I'm going to do is I've created a new resource group on this one. The resource group is this in Southeast Asia. And then over here, so I'm going to create this new virtual network. So I've added a new subnet config to this one. And now afterwards I need to update the network because of the changes I've made. Gateway. So I'm configuring virtual networks. So I'm going to create an infrastructure as a service v1 virtual network gateway. I'm going back to I clicked on refresh and now both the networks showed up here. I'm going to click on this one right here. And the networks right here. Very good. Let's take a look here. All I have to do is refresh this. Let's try refreshing here. See then if it shows up. And I look under all items here, and I can see under here, great. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select the networks. Of course, you can see it all over here. Good. You click on this, the dashboard. I'm going to create gateway. And select dynamic routing. Yes. I'm going to confirm creating the gateway for this. Okay, now I've successfully created the gateway for Datum Branch VNet. The next thing I'm going to do is deploy an ISV2 machine into an ISV2 virtual network. So I'm going to run this one right here. Wants me to log in to my Azure account. Okay, then I'm good. Script right here. Okay, the script is completed. So at the end of this exercise, we created a virtual network gateway on the existing infrastructure as a service v1 virtual network and deployed a VM to the newly created IIS v2 HQ virtual network. Let's take a look at this. So as you can see now on the Azure portal, you can now see there's a virtual machine here. Create ARM, server 2. The next thing I'm going to do is this. Next thing I'm going to do here, okay, I'm configuring connectivity between ISV1 and V2. I'm going to do is I'm going to configure Resource Manager Virtual Network. What I'm going to do is on here, on the classic portal right here, I'm going to click on this one right here. I'm going to select on the networks. Go to the dashboard. And notice the provisioning has been completed on this one. So the gateway is right here. I know the gateway is here because I can click on delete right here. So I'm going to configure the ARM gateway right here. It's going to ask me to log in, of course, here. So I had to sign in twice in this one right here. Now while I'm waiting for this to go, I'm going to do is I'm going to proceed onward. Don't need to wait for it. Browse under the network, virtual network. Under HQ, I look at the connected device here. The gateway ARM IP. Let me try to get that one there. Great. I need that IP. 52, let's just do that. And I'm going to do is this. Under the config, lab files, and open it with Notepad. What I'm going to do is on this, and I'm going to go to this VPN gateway address. I'm going to replace this with this new address. I'm going to save it, close this right here. Then in a separate PowerShell window, I'm going to add Azure account. I'm going to then put it in there. Put this one in there. Good. I'm going to do this here. Let's see if this works. The next thing I'm doing is I'm setting the shared key for the classic VNN gateway. It's going to share the IPsec shared key. Good, now it's completed successfully, okay. Good. Over here, I'm going to go to all headers here. Just look under the networks. Click on the dashboard. So let's see, it's not connected right here. Let's see, I'm going to have to probably do is this. Let me click on connect. Let's see if this can connect it. Great, okay, now that I clicked on connect, it's all connected on there, great. So now I've connected the Datum HQ and branch virtual network and deployed dynamic routing gateways for each virtual network. The next one I'm going to do is configuring a point-to-point VPN. So the first is I'm going to configure VPN from a client to the headquarters virtual network. I'm going to click on here, configure, and on this one right here, on the select configure site-to-site connectivity. So, under here, under site-to-site connectivity, look at right here, and a point-to-site connectivity checkbox on here. And the starting IP one here. I'm going to make it 172.16.0.0. Good, the address there is 24. I'm going to do save. Yes. The next thing I want to do is, on this, I need a command prompt on this. So I need to go to PowerShell right there. So what I'm going to do is this. Try to run it as an admin. And then I'm going to do is this. This one right here. Then I'm going to cd program files x86 Windows kits. Windows kits. So now I'm going to do is this. I went into a command prompt, and I'm changing here, and I'm going to make a cert. I'm going to make the cert here. Great, succeeded. I'm going to go back to IE. Good, now I'm going to go over here. Here, so I'll click on this one. Click on certificates. I'm going to just upload a new certificate. Browse. Open it. Check. Okay, uploading the root cert under here. Wait for this to finish. Good. That's what I did. It's uploading the cert. Great. Successfully uploaded this and this. That's great. Let's try this other one here. Great. And we do a client cert. Succeeded right here. Excellent. Now over here, I'm going to go into Internet Options, Content tab, Security, Certificates. And you can see that they didn't client and the root sets above there. Good. Good. And the next task I'm going to do is this. I'm going to connect to the HQ virtual network. And on the this one right here. So under the networks over here, with the dashboard, this one right here. I'm going to download the 64-bit client VPN package. Alright, now this one right here, great. So we have this one here. Since I installed the VPN client and all that now on this, I'm going to go connect, disconnect. This one right here. I'm going to click a data and branch, connect. Connect again, continue. And I'm saying like is up on mine. Also, this is a public one. So now if I take a look at that, I'll come in. I should see a PPP, a datum branch. As you can see, this one right here, and it has an IP address on here. And it is in a range. Remember that a range, the 172.16.0.0/24. So it did get an IP one in that range. So now I'm going to try to connect here with terminal client. Let's see right here. And this one. There's another one. Student. Trying to connect to this. Yes. So as you can see here, I've used that VPN to connect to this server here, this VM that we created, this classic one, classic server 1, and this one. And you're going to see an IP address here is associated by this. Anyway, I've managed to connect to it. And I'm going to disconnect to this. And I'm going to disconnect from this one right there. So the next thing I want to do here, I'm going to validate virtual network connectivity. I'm going to connect to the ADATM VMs. Click on the virtual machine here. This is selected. And I'm going to connect to it. And open it. Use the RDP. So you notice it's the same one. I've been able to connect to it this way also. And this one right here. And I'm going to do is this. I'm going to click on virtual machines. Click it on 2. Click on connect. And open. Not enable network discovery here. Put it on the local server. Go to the firewalls. Public one. Turn it off. Let's see this right here, so it's not. So now the public is off. I'm going to minimize this one right here. So now on this one right here, the classic one right here. I turned off the one here. Refresh. Now you can see that it's off there. Now on this one right here, I'm going to go to the PowerShell session here. And I'm going to try ping 10.0.0.4. And as you can see that it replies right there. So this one, notice from the classic, I'm pinging the ARM server 1. So notice in this one, this is a classic. Let me go back to the ARM one. And the ARM. Just want to show you that that's the ARM one right here. So that concludes this. Can ping ARM server 1.